This is Chris Cicchinelli, and welcome to The Secret Is You. I'm glad to be back. Glad for today, because today I'm talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, it's funny because you kind of hear this and you're like, why does he want me to be uncomfortable? The reason I want you to be uncomfortable is because, hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to what I'm going to say, you want to figure out, hey, how to hit your BHAG goals, how to be able to do the things that nobody else is able to do except you, except the people that want to understand that if you're going to make anything happen in life, you got to have a little bit of uncomfortable activities to get you and your family to that comfortable lifestyle that you're looking for. Now, I know a lot of people here talking about luck, right? Like luck is, do I need luck to be successful? Luck is great. I appreciate everybody that walks up to me and goes, hey, Chris, you are so lucky to do what you do. It's so lucky to be able to, operate your business. And I bet it's, so lucky to see what you've kind of built. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. If you see me in the streets, you see me at an event, the last thing I want you to do is walk up to me and tell me I'm lucky. Because let me tell you something. I've lived my life very uncomfortable to get to this comfortable status that everybody sits back and goes, man, I wish I had that life. I wish I had the excess money. I wish I had a private jet. I wish I had a big house. I wish I had, a company that I was running. I hear that a lot, especially hear that a lot from like young, up and coming business owners or entrepreneurs. And they always ask me, what are those things to help me be successful? What do I need to be thinking about to get to the next level, Chris? And the first I always go to is for sure. That's my go-to all the time is commit to the process, detach from the outcome. Everybody knows that about me. That's my number one go-to. The reason I say that is nobody likes to do the process. That's where the uncomfortableness comes. That's where the uncomfortable of doing the same thing over and over again. But that's what happens when you do that is that you will hit your outcome. Most people I talk to, all they focus in on is the outcome. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to fly around like you. I want to do those types of things. Well, shit, did you like it when I had to travel for 3 years in a U-Haul with my mother? Let me tell you something. Luck isn't what got me to where I'm at today. Now, I like when I hear that, like, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Yes, I hear you. I understand that. And I do understand that whole simple game because I do prepare. And I think that you are given opportunities. We get opportunities every day that are presented to us. The opportunity to bounce out of bed or the opportunity to sit back and go, I'm going to read my text messages. I'm going to catch up on Insta Live. I'm going to do all the different stuff that's out there. Or, I'm the opportunity that's in front of me that I'm going to make the extra phone calls. Those are opportunities. Yes, they're choices. But they're opportunities for you to get ahead. They're opportunities for you to get to the next level. Those are what happens because you're prepared. You're prepared to seize that opportunity. You're prepared to go out there and make things happen with the opportunities. That's how I got to where I'm at today. I think that when people sit back and tell others they're lucky, and I'll never walk up and go, man, somebody that I see is doing well or better than I might think I'm doing, I'm not walking up to them and saying, man, you're pretty lucky to have all this. No, my first thing out of my mouth is, man, you had to live your ass very uncomfortable, I'm guessing, to get to where you're at today. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking to somebody that has, built something or has scaled something, the one thing you find out is, man, they have figured out how to straddle that line of some days you feel like the world is on your shoulders. You feel like you can't make one thing happen correctly. You feel like everything is coming down at you, and that's the uncomfortable. That's where people break. That's where people give up. That's where people do not have the juice to keep going. But if you push past that just a little bit more, you'll find that you start getting comfortable with that, and it just becomes a way of life. And you feel out how to harness that. And then once you get comfortable in that situation, there's not much that's going to throw you off your game. There's not much that's going to make you feel like you can't accomplish something. I think about pre-COVID, right? Like before, traveling 200 days a year and getting up at 5 a.m. and getting back to my hotel, and getting into bed at 11 o'clock because I was just finishing off my day, and getting back and doing the same thing the next day and the next day after that and the next day after that. 200 days a year, it's like Groundhog Day. But what I learned from Groundhog Day is that repetition is the key to our success, right? They say repetition is the mother of learning. It's the father of action, architect of accomplishment. We all know that. It is that. But I will tell you, luck hasn't built your business. Luck hasn't built my business. But I think that there's some ways that we could take luck and look at it differently, okay? And I like to break each of these letters down for you and give you kind of a little bit more understanding. Because luck, in my mind, isn't like a piece of property. It's not an object, right? Luck is how we live. Luck is how we identify, the things that we have built, okay? So if you look at it differently and not just like you're so lucky. First, L. L is this. If you're sitting out there and you say, hey, listen, I want to have some luck in my life, okay, great. Here's what you have to think about. Use luck like this. The L is for love. If you do not love what you do, then you need to find it ASAP. You only get one option on this earth. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real world. This is the time that you have to sit back and go, man, I better wake up and love exactly what I'm doing. And you're probably going, well, Chris, I got to pay my bills too. You can do that. Because what I'll tell you is when you become more passionate, when you become more excited about what you're doing, things play out well more for you. Everything becomes a lot simpler. Everything becomes a lot easier because you know what? You don't look at it like it's work. You don't look at it like it's a job, which most people hate their jobs, right? 85% of people right now do not like what they do. 85%. That's 15% of the people love what they do. And here's why they don't like their jobs, right? No, most people don't like their jobs because they don't like their boss, right? Well, first of all, nobody really likes having a boss. Nobody likes to sit back and go, gosh, your boss is great. I guarantee my employees go back to me and go, he's kind of an asshole. He's probably got his own agenda or whatever. Because guess what? When it's your job, which most of you listen to me, you're the boss, you're the CEO, you're the person that's making your stuff happen on a day-to-day basis. You don't have that situation that most people. So I'm probably talking to the 15% of the people that are out there right now that love what they do when they got this side hustle, or they love what they do because they got this passion for what it is to be able to change people's lives, to be able to give them information, help them with their relationship. Hell, you might be somebody that's listening to this and saying, I sell insurance and I freaking love to make people's day. I love to protect them. You might be listening to this and saying, you know what? I love it because I sell cars. And you know what? Cool. If you sell cars and you're listening to me right now, awesome. You have to find that passion. You have to find what makes you happy. It's important because here's why. When those uncomfortable days come up, you will push through it for love. You will push through it to find your happiness. That's why I believe the L in luck. The L stands for you got to love it. Most people, they don't like who they work with, right? That's the big other thing too, right? Most people are like, oh my gosh, people in my office, it's sometimes like going into high school again. It's sometimes everybody's in these cliques, whatever it might be. It is what it is, people. I will tell you right now, not everybody loves what they do. Not everybody likes the people they work with. I get it. I understand that. But I will tell you this, when you have your side hustle or you find the things that you love, you will find that you will gravitate to people towards you, or people will gravitate towards you that also have the same passions, that also have the same wants and the love. Most people don't like their job because, one, they don't find any growth in it. We've got to understand when you have a side hustle or business, or if you're listening to this right now and you might go, why don't I like my job? It's because you don't feel stimulate. You don't feel growth. You don't feel like you're moving forward. You don't feel like you're being educated enough. That is a problem. So you need to be able to figure out how to shift, how to move, because you have to understand loving what you do is one of the most important things, because when you decide that you're going after something big, something monstrous, you're going to have that love to keep you kind of warm during the times that you are in that whole grind, the whole uncomfortableness of the business. The other thing too is what people love about working their jobs, right? What about people, what they find is people that listen to this probably like this. One, you guys take responsibility for your actions. I already know that. You take responsibility for your sales calls. You take responsibility for the people that you bring into the business with you. You take responsibility for your team. You do this because you love the fact of helping others. You love the fact of serving others. The other reason people love what they do, the 15%ers out there, is they love to be able to get paid. They love not having a glass ceiling. They love not being told what their hourly rate is or what their wage or what their annual salary is. They like the fact that they could go make money when they want to make money. That's one of the things I like people love the most. So that's when I talk about the L in this. There's the U, okay? Let's talk about it. I know that you've seen there's books out there, Unstoppable, and we've done things at our corporate office where we kind of have this kind of unstoppable mentality. I think of unstoppable kind of like this. I mean, if you're probably listening, it's like you got your Wonder Woman cape or your Superman cape on and you feel like you're kind of invincible. Like the only thing that can kind of break you down is kryptonite. We all have kryptonite, by the way, in our lives. I don't know what yours is, but everybody's got it. But you know what? We are an unstoppable creature, man. If we get our minds wrapped around this, if we really understand unstoppable as this, we've got to be our own creators of our destiny. We cannot let other people go out there and decide what we're going to do for our lives. Like that's why I wrote The Secret Is You. I was so tired of people not living their life by design. They were living it by somebody else's life. They were living it by somebody else's terms. And I will tell you, if you truly want to take the you in luck and really turn it into unstoppable, that's the difference of you being successful or not. You have to sit back and think about this. You have to be different than everybody that else is out there. Most people don't like to have to design their life. They like to go back and have others design it for them. They like to have others tell them what they need to do, because what we have been taught in our entire life is we've been taught to follow, not to lead. That's problematic. The other thing too is this. We need to understand that we are going during our unstoppable times. We're going to have fear that's going to come up. We need to use that fear as fuel. Don't let that fear give you false evidence appearing real, right? Don't let the fear paralyze you. Let the fear propel you. Face everything and rise, right? You've seen that. I guarantee you've seen that on memes. You've seen that on different things that are out there. It is true. To be unstoppable, I'm fearful every day. I wake up with a little bit of fear. I do, but I use it as fuel. I don't use it as it's going to paralyze me. I don't use it as it's going to stop me. No. Man, I put that in. I bottle it up. I'm like, all right, good. Because it's okay to have those butterflies. It's okay to have that uncertainty. It's okay to be scared, but you could use that scaredness, those butterflies as fuel moving you forward. I think it's so important. The other thing too is this. We got to make sure that when we are unstoppable, that we are focused. We are focused on what it is that we're trying to get accomplished. I think too many people lose their mission. Why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you putting your time into things that aren't money producing activities? Why aren't you putting your time and energy into things that are helping you get to those BHAG goals in life? You got to make sure that you don't lose focus of why you're in this grind. Why do you want to work for yourself? Why do you put this type of energy in this, into the passion that you love? Because there are days, man. There are days where people try to rob your passion. There's people that try to rob the love of what you have for your business. And you got to go back and you got to make sure that you kind of reestablish that. You got to make sure you refocus that. The other thing to be unstoppable is you got to keep up your education, right? Nobody that I know that's been successful does not spend time reading. We are the books we read. If we are reading good books and putting good information into us, it's kind of like what we say to ourselves is also what we become, right? If we tell ourselves we're a loser, we're never going to accomplish anything, we're never going to make money, well, guess what? We're probably going to live that lifestyle out. But if we say the life is abundant and we can have anything we want and we could go after it, that is the life that we want to achieve. That's the life we're trying to build for ourselves. The other thing is this, is take the C from luck, which is consistency, man. You've heard it, you know it. I don't have to beat it into you. It's not like a big, secret thing that nobody else knows. But what you find in life is most people are already consistent, right? We already know that. Most people you run into, they're already consistent. They're consistently inconsistent. Therefore, they're getting the results that they're doing consistently. There it is. We already know that. What we have to remember, though, is that we have to be consistent creatures if we want to get the prize, if we want to succeed, if we want to build something. It goes back to this, right? Repetition is the mother of learning, it's father of action, and it's the architect of accomplishment. It is what it is. And I think consistent actions, like, waking up at the same time every morning, getting your routine in, making sure that you're doing your actions for your business and your team actions and the things that are going to go out there and pay the bills. Some people think about that consistency is boring. Do you understand that? Well, can I tell you, most people that would think that consistency is boring, most of them sit back and probably already have a boring life anyway. Or what they have a life is they're kind of like squirrel, or they can't really focus on many things. Only way I'm sitting here today is that I believed early on that I needed to commit to that process, which, by the way, is consistent process. Consistent processes will lead you to where you want to go to. That's the C in luck. When you get down to the last letter of luck, and if you were listening to this whole podcast and you sit back and go, you know what? He's spending a lot of time on luck. I like to break luck down. So when people do say this to me, I go back to understanding I love what I did. Nobody handed anything to me. I was unstoppable. I did the shit that nobody else wanted to do. I had to be different than everybody else. I was creating my own path. I needed to understand that if I was going to get there, I was going to have to be consistent. And the last and final thing is this. We have got to remember the K is one of the most important pieces, which is we got to make sure that we understand that kindness and karma are real. Kindness and karma are real, and we have to live by that. If we're going to go out there and build something amazing and build something awesome and build something that we're going to be remembered for, we have to understand that there is this thing that we have to remember. The law of great is what we put out and is what we're going to get back in this life. So if we are putting out good stuff, if we're putting out good information, if we're out there doing the things that we know to be true, to go out there and help other people, serve other people with this law of abundance, right? This law of we believe that we are going to do right by people. That's where the whole karma comes in. Because if I put kindness out in the world, right, and I put that kindness that people sit back and they want to have into their world, I know that I put that out, I'm going to get that back 10x. It always happens. I open up a door, 10 people open up a door for me. I go out and do something nice for a charity. It seems like, something happens nice to me. It is unimaginable to live any other way. We always talk about grace, class, respect here at Pure Romance, but when you really do that, that leads back to karma. That leads back into doing the right things. The big piece that I also sit back and think about is this. It's the law of creation. If you sit back and you're kind people or you live in karma, you're not waiting for things to happen. You're actually making things happen. That's the big thing. You're not going to sit and wait for it. You're going to make the things happen in your life that you want to see come to truth. The other thing too is the law of growth. When you're living life by helping and serving others and making other people, successful that are around you, what I will tell you is the growth will start coming. You will start shifting into new ways of learning. You will shift into new ways to healing yourself. You'll shift into new ways in serving other folks, people, family, whoever it might be around you. We have to sit back and take and look at luck differently. Nobody that's listening to this is lucky. Nobody that's listening to this hasn't worked their ass off and put their time in and wants to continue to be educated. So remember luck a different way. Love what you do. Don't be the 85% of people that don't love what they do. Be unstoppable every morning you wake up. Get excited that you have the ability to go out there and change the world. Understand that consistency is going to be the queen of this entire process that you're going to go through. Detach from the outcome, commit to the process. That's the consistency that you're going to want to bring. And let's not forget the final and most important thing, which is bring some kindness into the world. Let's all make this place better in which we found it. Remember though, the secret is you. Go out there, have an amazing day. Let's go out there, and when somebody says lucky, we love it. We're unstoppable, consistency, and kind. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks so much.